If one more label try to stop me,
it's gonna be some dreadhead niggas in your lobby.
I don't think people give enough credit to the times that we were in when Chance dropped that song. Like, it was so revolutionary. You got an independent artist soliciting the talent of signed artists, causing all types of problems in the label world. Welcome to my segment on Hip Hop Soldiers. I got a project that I'm dropping called Welcome Back Soldier. As I look through the Rolodex of Hip Hop Hall of Fame and all the people that have been relevant soldiers of the fighting style of hip hop, I consider myself a soldier, and I gotta note where I pull inspiration from and how important these figures are in the landscape of hip hop and the trajectory of hip hop. When Chance dropped No Problems on his Coloring Book album in 2016, we gotta understand the time we are in. 2015 is when the streaming era started to begin. But before the streaming era, and I know a lot of y'all find it difficult to think about a time before then, but you had to buy songs in their totality. Like, you had to buy singles, you had to buy projects. And the streaming era came about to say, you know what, we're gonna put all of this music in one place, and then we'll allow people to stream it for one fee, and they won't have to buy albums per album every time. Now, it seemed like a cool idea for a lot of artists, the idea of becoming more accessible, and it was a lot of money in the streets at the time. Like, there were bidding wars for independent artists that had pull. Streaming services would say, hey, when you release a project, if you release it exclusively on our platform for a couple of weeks before you go live everywhere, we will give you some money. Like, Chance apparently got like $500,000 from Apple Music for releasing Coloring Book for them first 2 weeks exclusively, and then on everywhere else. Spotify was doing this. It would get into high bidding wars and would benefit the artists because they would know that when we release new music that the fans would flood to the platforms, and their idea would be to have forever customers. Meanwhile, the artist gets to get a bag. It was a win-win. But then they cut all of that out because they're like, what are we doing spending all this money just to compete with each other and letting these artists get the money? Chance was a revolutionary problem. He had a lot of pull, but he was not tied to any labels. And there was so much debate on whether he was independent, and does independent mean he doesn't get a bag from Apple Music? Look at where we are today. Chance was independent because he was able to get these big corporations to pay him for his own benefit. That's the goal. And he was the darling of hip hop for a time being. And because Chance was able to secure the bag how he was able to pay artists to collaborate with him and meet them with the proper funding required. And it was either that or it was straight off of the relationships where he would be like, yo, you see what I'm doing over here? I'm buzzing. Come be a part of the wave. The labels wanted to make it extremely difficult for artists to collaborate with Chance because he was independent and would benefit from the big artists coming onto his track. They wanted to take a lion's share of the funds. They wanted to make him sign the deal. Chance wasn't going for it. And so when he released No Problems, he was standing on business, talking about, if one more label try to stop me from getting to the bag like I'm trying to do, from freely expressing music and using hip hop as the fighting style to express myself, how it's begun in the first place, it's gonna be some dreadheaded niggas in y'all lobby.
You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me.
And yo, when I tell you that gassed me up as an artist, it gave me hope as an independent, as he blazed that trail that, yo, we can get up in there and flip some tables. It freed me from the idea of wanting to have to be signed. It freed me from the idea of not thinking of myself reaching certain heights. He did that for so many people, and I give him his flowers and credit for that. Chance is a true hip hop soldier. In this segment, I'll be talking about many artists who are hip hop soldiers who have used hip hop in their own fighting style. Think about Kung Fu, think about martial arts of different fighting styles and how you can wield the pen in different flows, schemes, recipes, etc. Positions that you take in business. We gonna go through it on a song by song basis according to my inspirations and see how it changes the culture, influences the culture, and ultimately has an effect on how we think, how business works, etc. If Chance didn't do this, yo, I don't know where I'd be. But I thank you, Chance, for your inspiration and blazing the trail to let these labels know y'all don't want no problems.